Does anybody want to guess what I'm up to? That's right, I'm getting ready to change my brake pads. And some of you may be thinking, well, why are you sitting up at the engine compartment? Well, it's very important anytime you change your brake pads that you come up here and extract some of the fluid out of this brake fluid reservoir. If you don't do that, when you clap the pistons on the calipers, you'll force excess fluid up and out and leak out of the cap and get all over your engine compartment, create a huge mess. You also want to extract that fluid out when you get ready to do a complete brake fluid flush. And you know, over the years, I've used all kinds of things to get that brake fluid out. You know, I use these little hand pump extractors. Notice here I've had to use a hose clamp because they tend to leak after a while. And I've also used these pull extractor things here. The problem with these, all of these, is when you get the hose down in there and pull it out, it drips. Or when you're using this little ball pump here, you know, you'll suck it up and when you bring it out, it's dripping all over the place. And when you squirt it in, you're not careful, you're going to get it over your fender and ruin your paint. Of course, that's why I always use a fender cover anytime I'm messing around with the brake fluid reservoir. So just recently, you know, after years of fighting with these what I call Mickey Mouse fluid extractors, I finally decided to come up with a tool I could live with, something that would work every day, in and out, clean operation, easy to take care of, and you know, I finally had to kind of make it myself. Let me show you what I came up with. I didn't build it from scratch, but I took a couple of different existing tools on the market. I started out with a good-sized vacuum hand pump that you see here. And then I added this capture tank that comes from a brake bleeding kit. And what this allows me to do, it allows me to create suction, pull the fluid into this tank. There's a standpipe in there, and that can fill up and prevent any fluid from getting into this vacuum hand pump. If you get brake fluid or transmission fluid in there, it's just going to ruin the seals. And you know, the more I use this, the more I love it. Watch how easy it is to stick the hose. Not only do you have a small hose so you can get to both the front and rear chambers in this reservoir tank, but watch how quickly it extracts the brake fluid. Just a few pumps, look at that. A few pumps, a few seconds, and I have literally extracted enough brake fluid from this reservoir to change my pads. And not only does it work amazing with brake fluid, it also works extremely well when you're going to change the fluid and filter in your power steering pump. Look at here, how easy it is, especially on those pumps on some of the newer models that are way down low in the engine compartment. You can just stick the hose down in there and just start pumping away, and in just a few seconds extract all the fluid out of the power steering pump. And then finally, let's talk automatic transmission fluid overfill. Has that ever happened to you? I bet it has if you've messed around with cars very long and you know, oh no, I put too much fluid in the transmission and I got to get into the car and pull that drain plug, and you end up spilling some on the floor and draining too much, and then you got to pour more in. Well, you should see this extractor work with an overfilled automatic transmission. You just stick the tube down in there and start pumping, and you can actually measure the amount of fluid that you are extracting from the transmission. And because you're extracting it into a clean container, if you happen to pull too much out, you can just pour it right back in. So let me tell you, I have become a huge fan of this tool. I use it almost every day in my shop. If you're interested in getting one of these, I can guarantee you're going to love using it. You can just click on the link below to go to my website to check it out.